Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
It is our second round of DRIFTCON here in 2025 on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Super excited to have you guys in here with us. Drifting, our title sponsor is Green Shields Industrial Supply. And of course, Home Track Heroes brought to you by All Ply Roofing. My name is Caleb Hart, and once again, the master of drifting. He is the real world champion. It is Super Ben White. Ben, welcome.
Super Ben?
Yeah, why not?
Are we going with Super Ben?
Why not Super?
Kind of like Danger Dave, but Super Ben?
Super Ben.
Anyways.
Well, as long as it's not Squeaky Ben.
As long as it's not Squeaky Ben, I'll do my best.
Yes, we're excited, right? Round number 2, Saturday drifting. It's a wet one, unfortunately.
It was wet. It got dry. There was mixed conditions, so we saw like a whole variety of things come into play here. But we're back on like our most traditional layout that we've run here at Evergreen Drift, Evergreen Speedway. The dudes are hitting the 3/8 bank coming in through the infield, and you know what? It's one of my favorite layouts that we run here.
All right, so we're in the round of 32 to begin things off. It's Frank Mirabelli. He's in the white and blue and black BMW versus the black Mustang. That is Cameron Cook. And here is round 1 for them here on Home Track Heroes.
Well, it looks right now like Cameron is getting cooked as Frank Mirabelli way out in front. Now Cameron is coming into frame. Nice angle from Frank as he's coming around that south light pole, north light pole, whichever. What I'm directionally challenged. I'm not Lois Andar Clark. But here we go. Frank Mirabelli steering it in, crossing that finish line, doing a nice job out front, making quick work of this track layout. So we're going to reverse the order. Now Cameron is going to lead the way. He's going to set the pace and try and lay down that 100-point run as put down by the judges. They have some criteria. They told him in the driver's meeting, and Cameron's doing a pretty good job on the bank, nice and high up there. Frank coming in a little bit wide. Oh, coming in shallow, almost parking on the inside. We're going to have to see that on the replay, but right now we're focused on Cameron Cook as he's navigating through Jay-Z powered Ford Mustang. So he's taken a weird way, a weird hot rod venture there, but it's working for him.
There's a lot that just happened in that last minute. Let's get our first chance at a replay here and getting a look at it, getting a look at the traditional drift course we got going. And you can see Mirabelli's got a lot of speed in that car. He really slung that thing around, but Cook, pretty good lead run himself.
Yeah, I wish we could like zoom out a little bit and kind of see what happened in the chase position, because I feel like that's going to be the big determining factor here. Is it looked like Frank incompleted on his run, and I assume that's what happened. That's what I remember happening, and Cameron Cook is going to move on to the top 16.
Cameron, spell it with a K.
Cameron.
Yeah, that's right. He will go forward. We have got Patrick Held. He's in the purple Nissan, taking on Cody Smith. He's in the red Mustang here in this run. Is that purple? It's purple.
Dude, it is purple, and Patrick was just on heaters all day. He looked like he was having a blast. Just he was spinning tires from the start line, and so Cody Smith, he had seen this all day. He saw what was going on, so he knew he needed to stick it to the door. Patrick Heald, and he is going deep, he is going wide, he's given every opportunity, Patrick is, for Cody to keep up with him. But I mean, Patrick's so smooth, so silky out there that Cody is just trying to do as good as he can.
Wow, knocking some barrels out to the side as we'll go, I believe, double box style? Not double box style here in this one. Let's take a look now. Out in front, that is Smith with Heald trying to chase him down.
Yeah, Smith trying to run that high line on the bank. Kind of went high and dropped down a little bit, got a little bit scared riding that line, but Patrick Heald not scared to run those doors on that Mustang. Trying to dive in now. There's a little bit of a door open. Oh, Patrick Heald. Oh, understeer right there as Patrick Heald might have incompleted in the chase run. He looked so good in the lead position, but got caught up a little bit, got closed off. Let's see what happens here in the replay as we go side by side. So you see Patrick Heald doing a nice job up front on the left-hand side of your screen, but on the right-hand side, Cody Smith, hey, man, sometimes half the battle is just keeping that thing in drift. So Patrick Heald, he didn't want to leave it in the judge's hands. He wanted to be real aggressive. But right here, when he dives in, you see him kind of jam on the binders. Oh, it's a small second where he was just going straight, and I think that's all she wrote for him. But I don't know, man. There's a lot going on in those runs, and hey, it looks like the judges decided with Patrick Heald, so they saw something with Cody Smith that they didn't like, and they want Patrick to move on. I feel like it's due to his lead runs. He was having such good lead runs all day that if you compare him next to Cody Smith there was no comparison.
One of our stars here of Drift, John Daniel, is in the black Nissan. It's Lincoln Bassett in the white and gray Mustang. He is chasing here in this first one. Oh, John Daniel. Oh.
looking good out front. JZ Power in that S13, so swinging it all around. I mean, John Daniel, 35-time grassroots champion out here, just shredding. He had a little bit more horsepower to that S chassis this year, so he's loving it. He wants to compete with the big dogs out here. But Lincoln Bassett out there in that Mustang, we don't see a lot of these newer Mustangs out here. The price point's starting to come down. They're starting to become more attainable for everyone to bring out here. And you know what, Lincoln, he has like fiberglass quarters on the back, and I saw those in various positions throughout the day because these drivers are getting real comfortable with that last clipping point right up against the wall, trying to put on a show out here at DRIFTCON. But right now, Lincoln, man, looking pretty good, but matching his angle, matching his line right there is John Daniel, keeping out of contact right there, right by the finish line. I feel like that's going to be incomplete there for Lincoln, but let's check out these replays. Run them side by side. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not, right?
Double box style as you're coming in. You can see Daniel soaking it up and getting that proximity as they get through that first big sweeping corner and into the meat and potatoes here of the course.
And you can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. On the left-hand side on John Daniel's lead run, he's the only one in frame. And then on the right-hand side, Lincoln's lead run, you can see John Daniel the whole time applying the pressure and finding his way into the top 16.
All right, round of 32 continues on. The car of many colors that's in the top lane, that is Jamie Tedesco from an island in BC somewhere. And then all the way down from basically California. Medford, Oregon is like California north. He is in the Nissan 350Z.
Yeah, so Jamie out front, that E46 BMW V8 power under the hood of that thing, looking pretty good out front. So these conditions, they're a little bit wet, but you start to see a little bit more tire smoke developing on the track. So that racing line is where they want to keep these cars right now, because that is where they're going to find the most grip. Jamie Tedesco, a lot of tire smoke, a lot of grip available, but right there with them is Torrin McMullen. So side-by-side crossing the finish line, matching the angle there crossing the finish line as well. That's what the judges want to see.
So we're going to get another single box here on this next run. It's McMullen up on the top. He is the lead car now. Tedesco follows him, and then we will see him side-by-side in dual picture.
Yeah, so you see Torrin setting the pace pretty good. He was up on that high line, and in the chase position, it looked like Jamie was like a little bit lower. Like to see him match that line as much as possible, but he sacrificed it a bit, tried to gain some proximity, and look at that late transition in the chase for Jamie there. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff for the judges to dissect here as they go to make their decision in this battle.
All right, for you scoring at home, here's your chance to see if you can be the amateur judge. You can either score it for Tedesco, for McMullen, or we can see it one more time.
Well, you can kind of see side by side right here. You see Jamie's run on the bank. You see he's a little bit lower on the bank, whereas Torrin was a little bit higher. You see a little bit more commitment on Jamie's end with that tire smoke line. That means that he's on throttle, trying to make stuff happen. Torrin, very good lead run, and you know what? It was too close for the judges to call, so they're going to send them one more time.
All right, we got another round of 32 coming.
32.
And that's right. Matt Ryszewski, kind of a deep seed for him. Not used to seeing him as an 11 seed in this one. Ryszewski's got the blue 350Z. Alex Steins, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, in the black BMW.
Hey, when you got a minute, we could talk about the qualifying scores and why Matt Ryszewski was down at 11th. But right now, we'll talk about him in the lead run, doing a nice job there. You see, every run that we see from now on out, you're going to see more tire smoke, more aggression from these guys. And look at Alex Steins right there. He knows who he's going against. Both these guys hailing from the Great White North, probably crossed the border together, and you know what? They're crossing the finish line together on this first run.
I say, tariff me on that one, buddy, as they come through. The big sweeper starts us off, and we have got the up-top view. Big thank you to our drone pilots, Zero Sympathy FPV and Armani FPV.
Yeah, look at Matt Ryszewski toying with that line right where the judges want him to be as far as that line goes and on all these outside zones. Ooh, just a little contact there from Alex Steins. Nicely done from him, so it didn't disrupt that lead car, didn't disrupt his car. A little bit of a reinitiation bobble there in the chase, but overall a very good first run from these two.
All right, so let's flip sides here. It's Steins, who, if your previous knowledge is dropped in my brain and imprinted, professional stunt car driver?
Professional stunt car driver, absolutely. So, up there in Vancouver, they film a lot of movies, and he gets to be on the set, putting that car where they want him to go. And right now the judges have decided where he's supposed to go, and he's fulfilling that criteria, doing a nice job nosing in on that inner clip and finishing right here by the wall, getting a little timid, didn't want to take the taillights out of that E46, but there they go, side by side across the finish line. Let's get that drone view on this.
Man, taillights are cheap, especially compared to what we pay for winning these things here at DRIFTCON. As one more look at it, and let's get real close like.
Matt Ryszewski right there on the bank, risking it for that biscuit doing a nice job. Going real deep is Alex Stein. So they're not so much trying to tap those barrels. Those barrels are a couple feet off of those outer zones. They're more toying with the lines that are painted on the track. So that's what we want to focus on. And I think that they said that Alex Stein's went tires off there, and that's why the win went to Reshetsky in that battle.
All right, we're in the round of 32, and this is Tyler Mayer.
Heater.
Red Nissan 240. Spencer Bolt in the black Corvette.
Heater. This battle was an absolute heater. It is a lot of fun to watch. And check this out. Tyler Mayer, he's going to set the pace first. He's going to lead the way. And Spencer Bolt, that C6 Corvette, those pink wheels, both these guys just ooze in style out there on track. And you see how much it's dried out now. A lot of tire smoke from these guys. A very fast battle here. Spencer, man, being aggressive, trying to dive in on Tyler Mayer, whereas Tyler Mayer is just doing what he always does, man. He's the sewing machine out there. He's stitching it up together on track, and they're finishing side by side.
So you said very fast, but it feels like this is two different courses in some way. This first section, yeah, very fast, a lot of speed, but once they get into the mid portion of it, they really have to slow things down and get technical.
Yeah, it was a very weird thing. If you want to get nerdy about it, like the wheel speed is so high on the bank compared to the infield. Right here, you're going to see that area come into a factor in a lot of future battles that we're going to see probably in this segment or the next one. But typically on these days where it's wet and then it starts drying out, the bank dries out first. And as they come into the infield, they're off throttle. They're kind of just steering and hoping for the best. But I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's the new pavement, if it's finally setting in. But the way that this track dried out, it dried out the same the whole way around, and they had grip everywhere, so it was a beautiful thing to watch. It was awesome, and these guys are putting it on display right now.
That was a ton of smoke from Spencer Bolt on his lead run. Let's watch it back again from the drone shot as we try to figure out whether it's Mayer or Bolt who's going to be moving forward.
Yeah, so we got nerdy about the track. Let's get nerdy about this run right now. Look at Spencer Bolt out front. He is putting a gap right now on Tyler Mayer, and look at the smoke line from burping flames, doing whatever he can to put that C6 Corvette into the top 16. But there's Tyler Mayer, always right there, right beside him, putting the pressure on. And you know what? It was too close to call.
Yeah, it's not often that we see Mayer gapped like that. Feels like he had to sacrifice a little style on the back end to get that proximity back. Either way, we'll see that one more time. Just like this is the one more time battle of Tedesco versus McMullen. Here's the second try for them.
Yeah, so brand new battle here, right? It was too close to call before, so we're going to have a brand new one. Tedesco back out front, going to lead the way. See if he could do something a little bit different to get the judges to sway in his favor here as he's making his way into the infield. Ooh, Torrin McMullen running a little bit wide coming into the infield, knocking some barrels around. And you see how wide that Jamie Tedesco is right here. Not a lot of grip off the racing line. Oh, and contact made between Jamie Tedesco and Torrin McMullen here. And I think there's a replay that we're going to see, and you see that that Jamie Tedesco gets a little bit of a wonky wheel from this hit. So we're going to watch this replay here. Very nice job from these guys. But, you know, as I said, the track dried out consistently throughout. That was on the racing line, right? So as they come through, this is outer zone 2. Outer zone 3, Jamie Tedesco's carrying a little bit too much speed, runs it a little bit wide, and gets into the wet stuff there. And there's just no traction, wonky wheel time in that E46.
Okay,
and
so as we get ready, right?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. As we get ready, because we're going to get Dario Reddish versus Alex Lindsay coming up here. But the judges have said on that last battle, we got a timeout. Can you explain? I have not seen a timeout yet here on Home Track Heroes and the Drifting.
So it's something that these drivers can call if they have damage to the car, right? So in that case, Jamie Tedesco was at fault for the contact. So he wanted to get hands on the car, see if he could fix it. It looked like he had a tie rod broken, so that's something you can fix in 5 minutes. So he called a 5-minute timeout, tried to get the car fixed. So we'll see if he's able to make it back to the line and do battle, get that second half of the battle done with Torrin McMullen. But we moved right on. We got to keep the action going here, and the action is aplenty when you got Dario Reddick and Alex Lindsay out here on track.
Already throwing bumper covers to the wind and all over the place was Dario, the former Circle Track superstar here at Evergreen Speedway. And yeah, he's used to this speed coming up and around the big corner.
Yeah, but he's going the wrong way on this corner now.
Yeah, well,
he's going the opposite direction.
Little
but,
things,
you know,
right?
he's able to adapt, improvise, overcome as he's leading the way. And man, Dario Reddick was our #1 qualifier today. He had a 97 point score out of 100. 97 out of 100.
Ooh, yeah.
So he was just big dog on track, and he threw it down right at the end. He was the last one to qualify, had the last run out there, and like mea culpa, I had a Jared Deanda moment where I kind of did a not the prettiest, and it turns out it was the prettiest.
It was
97
pretty.
point score. My bad, dog. I put some respect on your name, Dario Reddick, as he's trying to put some tire marks on Alex Lindsay's door here as they transition, coming through outer number 3. That bumper's still just hanging on. They didn't take it off on the start line. He's like, no, I'm taking this with me. This is a badge of honor. This is a battle scar, and we're crossing the finish line. Man, we need to see this again.
Let's do that one more time as you're going to watch Dario chasing down Alex Lindsay in the raspberry purple Nissan.
Did you say one more time? Are you trying to jinx it?
No.
Are you trying to jinx it?
That's we're watching it one more time.
I mean, dude, I could watch this all day. Look at these guys side by side. Dario Reddick is chasing down Alex Lindsay. Hey, you know what? The judges' early call here one more time. A lot of fun to watch, and let's see it again after this commercial break.
Home Track Heroes continues on here on Seattle 11. I'm Caleb Hart, Super Ben White, hanging out with us. And Ben, it's been a fun first segment. We got even more coming up. Again, wet conditions, but these drivers pushing on through it, doing a good job. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing, and another round of 32 matchup coming up.
Yeah, so what we're going to see here, this is the second run of the one more time battle between Jamie Tedesco, Torrin McMullen. If you remember before the break, Jamie Tedesco had to call a 5-minute timeout, see if he could fix his car. Was not able to fix his car. So this is essentially a bye run here for Torrin McMullen to find himself into the top 16.
All right, so Torrin McMullen is going to get our victory here. Pretty easy, no situation. Is it determined by the time they come up to the line, i.e. other drivers missing at this point in time? You can't roll in late and try to make 5,000 miles an hour and catch back up during it. It's all done at that point?
Correct. I mean, once the 5-minute runs out, if they're not at the line or they don't have the car started up to go to the line, it's just done skis. So that sometimes it be like that. Jamie Tedesco, he'll be back another day. But Torrin McMullen moving on to the top 16. And we got to figure out which of these two is going to move into the top 16, as this is another one more time battle, and this featuring Tyler Mayer, who is out front in that red S13 going up against Spencer Bolt in that black C6 Corvette.
This will be the last of the one more times that we end up getting. This was so much fun in the first run. And hey, let's get a replay of the lead run from Mayer here.
Yeah, you could definitely tell there was something different going on this one more time battle, right? There was an extra notch that they turned it up to, and it was a lot of fun to watch. You see Spencer Bolt taking a bit of an inside line, a lot of grip surging, a lot of sawing at it to keep it in drift at angle, and Tyler Mayer's just kind of out front doing his thing like he always does. He's calm and collected behind the wheel of that car and making it look really good out front.
Oh, he is like smooth butter on the Texas Roadhouse roll. That looked awfully good. It is Bolt now with the lead run and Mayer in chase.
Yeah, so Spencer Bolt taking a bit of a mid-high line there, and Tyler Mayer matching that line perfectly. And Spencer Bolt running a little bit wide out there, taking out a barrel. And as we said, if they're hitting barrels, they are off course. The judges did denote that if it's 3 tires off course over the line, that it is considered an incomplete on the runs. And so since Spencer Bolt is the lead driver, he's setting the pace. As soon as he incompletes, essentially the run is done right there. So that's very unfortunate for Spencer Bolt. It was a lot of fun watching these guys go back and forth. Let's see a little bit of replay and see if we can pinpoint the moment where it went exactly wrong there for Spencer Bolt.
You get to watch for the moment. I'm going to tell you Busch Light Beer, the official beer of NASCAR and Evergreen Speedway. Busch Beer, the sound of refreshment, crisp and cold. As a mountain stream, and Spencer Bolt will be able to bust into the bush a little bit early for him.
Absolutely. Taking it off track. Unfortunate for him, but fortunate for Tyler Mayer as he finds himself into the top 16.
Speaking of which, Avery Thomas and Dakota Jansen lead off our top 16. There's quite the color discrepancy there. The purple Nissan is Thomas, and the white and orange BMW is Jansen.
Yeah, Avery Thomas, man, he's been looking better and better and was looking really good here at the Highline Shootout, doing a nice job out front there. Good smoke line. You see the track's drying out. Stay on the racing line, though. That's what we need. Wow, big snappy transition there from Avery Thomas. A lot of angle. almost the commentator's curse as I say stay on the racing line. Runs it a little bit wide there and toying with the line, toying with trying to take the taillights out of the back of that 350Z. A lot of stuff going on. Good thing we got replay. Check it out.
Yeah, watch how straight the Jansen car gets here to not end up putting it right in the door panel of Thomas as they get into the slower portion of the course. Right about, I don't know, now-ish.
Yeah, you see if they run it wide on that outside painted line, it gets really, really slick out there. And you know what? Jansen did a good job of staying out of contact. I feel like that's going to be a little bit against Avery Thomas here. I don't know, man. I'm not a judge. I'm just an idiot with a microphone. So let's see what goes on here as we reverse the order. Now Jansen's out in front. He's going to lead the way, set the pace, taking a bit of a mid-high line there. Like, see him a little bit higher on the bank, but look at that. Angling out as he goes into outer two, swapping it up into outer three, and Avery Thomas doing everything he can to try and cut through that smoke line, trying to stay next to his competitor, diving in to leave one last impression with the judges as he crosses the finish line.
Now, you say you're just an idiot with a microphone, but number one, you're our idiot with a microphone. Number two, you've been out here. You've done this. You've been in the car. You've burned rubber on these tracks, so you know what it takes to put together a good run in both lead and chase.
Absolutely. I mean, first things first, aggression. You got to be out there. You got to be aggressive. Both these guys are throwing it down very well, doing a nice job. Avery Thomas, I think he had like one hiccup near the beginning of the run and just found himself a little bit behind, but he didn't sacrifice much. And you know what? The judges thought it was too even, too close to call. Send him again.
All right. We'll see it one more time. Here is your top seed, Dario Reddick, the black and blue Nissan. He is your lead, and chasing him, it's Alex Lindsay. Let's see what happens on this one.
All right, so this is a one more time battle?
Yeah, I think so.
This is a one more time battle, man. Hey,
right.
You know what? I feel like I see these guys battle all the time, but you know what? These are kind of like the staples at these DRIFTCON events. We got to see these guys go together. These are big dogs, a lot of fun, bashing doors, leaving tire signatures on each other's cars. A lot of fun to watch. And Dario Reddick, hey man, he's throwing down 95+ point runs out front. Alex Lindsay knows that, so he knows he could just staple it to his door as long as he wants to. And both these guys initiating, a little bit of a late initiation there from Alex Lindsay. And you see he's in the middle of the track. We want to see him riding that Highline on the bank. That's what it's called, Highline Shootout.
Yep.
Okay, it's not one of those ironic names like the 400-pound guy named Tiny. Okay, that's not what we want here. We want that Highline Shootout, and whether you're in the lead or the chase, you should be doing that. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a deficit here that Alex Lindsay's going to have to overcome. Let's see what he does with the clean air in front of him, laying it down in the lead position.
Yeah, not just way up on the high line, but not necessarily in close proximity to Dario. Through the big sweeping corner is now it's Lindsay's turn, and yeah, he was not hanging her off the edge yet.
Yeah, and this is, we'll see on the replay, but this is crazy adaptability on Dario's part. Doing a good job here at the infield, trying to make quick work of this track. It looks like Alex Lindsay, he you know what, he knows who he's up against. He knows kind of what this run felt like, and I don't think that it's his best work, so to say.
Yeah, look how comparatively low he is through this turn.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where you could see almost in Dario's car language. He's like, are you sure you want to take this midline? Okay. So he steered in, took that midline, matched the lead driver's line, which is what he's supposed to do per the judges' criteria, and stuck with them, did everything that he was doing, matching line, matching angle, matching doors, finding his way through.
So Reddick will move on. Again, we'll get to watch that as, hey, let's take another look at Avery Thomas and Dakota Jansen. You just saw it, but what do you know? Let's do it again, right?
Might as well do it again. We want to get definitive winners out here, right? We don't want to say who did the least bad. We want to say who did the most good and reward them for that. So Avery Thomas out here, out front. You can see his back tires trying to ride that high line. Look at Dakota Jansen right there being a factor, right in the peripherals of Avery Thomas, doing a nice job transitioning, leaving enough room for Avery to transition was Dakota there. And leaving a little tire mark, it looked like, as they're crossing through one last clipping zone and crossing the finish line. Nice work from these two on run number one.
Way smoother run from Thomas, and Jansen showed his skill by being right in his door panel. Flip him around, Jansen up top, and coming down to follow him is Thomas.
Man, you see Jansen running in that high line, so he's in that top lane doing a nice job. That car setup is interesting. You can tell when he's on throttle, the car wants to lift up, the car wants to stick and move. Oh, man, sticking his foot in the mud that back there is Avery Thomas, finding his way off, but we got to keep that lead driver honest. We got to keep him focused. Hey, man, he's waving to the crowd. He's fully focused. He's ready to put on a show here at DRIFTCON.
He is throwing the hand in the air because I think he knows he's moving on after that one.
Yeah, he could feel it. The lead driver sets the pace, right? So we got to keep them honest. They got to complete the run without it incomplete out there on track. And you know what? The one on the right, I think, is what we're most focused on. As we see running a little bit wide was Avery Thomas getting into the slick stuff where there's not a whole lot of grip. Good snappy transition there right at the end for Dakota Jansen. He's finding his way into the grade 8.
Round of 16 action moves on. Garrett Terrio out of Lake Stevens. The gray camo machine up in the top lane. To his inside, David Dip, Duck, Dive, and Dodge.
Dip, duck, dive, and dodge out there, man. Garrett Terrio looking solid out here in that FC. He brought it out a couple weeks ago, had some mechanical issues. They got it all dialed in now, and he's looking pretty good. Taking a mid-high line on the bank. I'd like to see him a lot higher on the bank, so throwing David Dip, duck, dive, and dodge for a little curveball there. Ooh!
Look out.
Looking like contact as they're coming through in the infield. So we're going to have to check on the replay because that wasn't the greatest vantage point on camera 2 there.
No, let's get a second look at it as these drivers finish off and get ready to swap over positions. Little hand signals coming out. And once again, up top, and a big thank you to Zero Sympathy FPV and Armani FPV for the drone shots today.
All right, so it looked like it was going to be an aggressive initiation there, taking a mid-high line. He's trying to saw his way up, Garrett Terrio is, but taking a mid-line, kind of getting into outer 2, getting into outer 3, and right there is where there was contact. So it looks like the front wheel of David Dodge's car hit the rear wheel of Garrett Terrio's car. So, you know what? No 5-minute timeout needed here. These guys are gamers. They're ready to throw down. So David Dodge throwing it in. He's out front now, and Garrett Terrio is going to chase him down.
Got that feint going into the first turn. Lot of speed coming down off the banking and into the mid portion of our course. Dodge versus Terrio.
Yeah, so Dodge looking pretty good out there. Lots of angle out there. Oh, and it looked like he got into a little bit of the slick stuff, maybe ran it a little bit wide, and, got off throttle in a section where he was supposed to be keeping momentum. So that's one of the things that the judges want to see here, and let's see if my words are accurate. So they're going through not the greatest camera point. There we go. We get him in frame here. So Garrett Terrio's chasing him down. David Dodge gets out there. Looks like he throws a little bit too much angle on it, gets off throttle, and Garrett Terrio kind of has nowhere to go except for his quarter panel. So it was a tough one there. And you know what? It was too tough, too much stuff to sift through. Judges, send him again.
Let's see if we can get 2 clean runs when those guys go one more time. Before we get them, though, Gaston Morrison version out of Vancouver, the red, white, and black Nissan versus Leon Ban, wielding the band stick from the chase position. Here we go.
Absolutely. So Gaston out front. He's going to set the pace. Another one of our stunt drivers hailing down from Canada. So he's out there putting that car in all the right places where he's told. Yeah, I don't know if he's got a spotter or a director in his ear, but he's doing a nice job out front, making a very chaseable lead run. And Leon Ban doing a nice job being aggressive in that E36 JZ power under the hood of that thing. Looking good as they're crossing the finish line. That was a fast, action-packed run.
Last time we got real heavy on the Beauty and the Beast Gaston references. This time, Leon has wielded the band stick on all of those as we get a chance to watch from the drone and some things we didn't catch on that first time.
Yeah, so Leon looked like he had a hard time initiating there. So sometimes the timing is weird on initiations, and it looked like he kept trying to steer it in. And if you see on the initiation at the bank, there are 3 cones to the outside of the track. Those are the initiation cones. So it kind of gives a visual reference for the judges on where these guys are initiating. It also gives them a visual reference for the last chance that they need to be in drift. So if they're not drifting by that 1 cone, it could be incomplete, and that could be the case here on that first run. But you know what? Leon's going to try and make up for it here on his lead. But, oh, man, coming out of drift again. I don't know if he's having car issues, mechanical issues, but it looks like he's just not the smoothest out there, just in the lead or the chase. And Gaston, he's just kind of on one out there.
Yeah, if he had it to take back, he would have. However, his take back is just going to be watching this replay. As here, once again, Leon Ban and Gaston Morrison, and Morrison looking pretty good to move forward here.
Yeah, so Leon, man, he is very mid-low on the bank. Gaston matching that line, so doing what he's supposed to do. But, man, Leon's not even getting to any of those zones, not even remotely close, as Gaston's just kind of like, okay, what are we doing? You were told what to do. Why aren't we doing it? I don't know. I guess I'll move on to the grade 8, and you can pack it up on the trailer.
Forward we go then. It's a one more time battle to follow them. And once again, this is Terrio versus Dodge.
Yeah, so brand new battle, right? One more time battle. It was too close to call before. Too much silliness going on track. Let's get some seriousness out here on track as Garrett Theriot, man, his bash bar looking like it's seen better days out there on the back of that FC, but these guys are cruising through this course right now, getting into outer two. Little transition action. David Dodge, hey, trying to stay way out of the way of his competitor, making sure he has room to transition. And there we go, one last time, coming through by the crowd near that wall, crossing the finish line. Better than the first one.
Considering the shenanigans we saw in the first round between these two, where neither run was clean. This time we get a clean first run, and we'll get a look at it on the drone replay just to prove ourselves that we weren't hallucinating.
Yeah, let's get these guys in frame. So Garrett doing a better job on the bank here. Taking a mid-high line. He could be a little bit higher, but you know what? He's where he's, near where he's supposed to be. Man, David Dodge was trying to be aggressive and did a good job of giving ample opportunity for Garrett to transition out in front. That's what he's supposed to do. And finishing side by side. I like what I'm seeing so far.
All right, we get a second shot at it now. David duck, dive, and dodge. Got it.
Come on, Patches O'Houlihan, get it right.
I'm working on it. Versus Theriot, who is chasing.
All right, so I like David Dodge's bank run here so far from my eyes on this replay here. Looking good, both these guys. It looks smoother in the chase position there for Garrett Theriot. But man, both these guys, you see a lot of smoke coming from these cars. Both V8 power, both thunderous V8s under the hood, 16 cylinders of America making it happen out there. And I mean, is this enough of these runs to sway the judges in one's favor?
Well, they were clean. I'll give them that much. We didn't see the contact. We didn't see the oopsies coming from the chase position as from the drone.
No oopsies, boopsies, or whoopsies. So, I mean, 2 clean runs, like you said. It should be enough of a sample size for these judges to make a decision here. Man, but it was a lot of fun driving there. And, hey, Garrett Theriot looked like he was having the most fun. He's going to go into the grade 8.
All right, we have got another round of 16 battle. It is Patrick Heald. It's the purple Nissan taking on the black Mustang Gold. Cam Ron Cook with a K.
Yeah, let's see if we can see where Patrick Heald is dancing this in from halfway through that straight, dancing it in, throwing big angle, but getting on those binders, trying to get that car worked up into that upper lane. Doing a nice job there is Cameron Cook trying to cut the line a little bit to gain some proximity. As Patrick Heald loving that JZ power plant under the hood of that S13, doing a nice job making work of this course right now, navigating through big smoke line, trying to make those taillights disappear and cross the finish line.
Checking out and leaving Cook there at points in time during the course. And from the drone, watch the speed, watch the angle, watch him get into these zones and score some points to their judges.
Yeah, big initiation there. And you see Cameron, he's going to cut the line just a little bit, just come like half a lane down, trying to gain some proximity, trying to be a real factor here and put some pressure on Patrick Heald. But Patrick Heald, man, he is a former Formula Drift Pro license holder. I mean, just an absolute shredder out here at Evergreen Drift. And you know what? He's got 2 more cylinders in that car now, and he knows how to make them work.
All right, so second shot. It is Cook this time in the lead. Heald's got to try to follow him on through.
Oh, yeah, and Patrick Heald following a bit of a slower car out front, having a hard time initiating there. We'll see it on the replay, but let's follow him through the rest of this run right here. Cameron Cook looking pretty good out front in that JZ-powered Ford Mustang. All JZ battle here in chassis that they never came in and probably shouldn't have ever been put in.
But that's part of the fun,
That's
right?
part of the fun. It's hot rodding, dude. So we'll get a little bit of a replay here and see if there's anything that we could see to sway the judges in one of these guys' favors. They sway their way into initiation on the bank. Patrick Heald taking a way low line. Is Cameron Cook looking pretty good out there in the lead position, doing a nice job leading the way, not out into that zone as I'm trying to commentate or curse him going through the course. I don't know, man. I can't make up my mind here. Neither could the judges. And it's going to be a one-more-time battle.
And we'll see it when we come back with more Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Home Track Heroes is in the round of 16 here at the Highline Shootout on Seattle 11. Glad to have you in with us. I'm Caleb Hart, Ben White. Round of 16, Soldiers on forward with John Daniel and Torrin McMullen going after this one.
Yeah, so John Daniel, I mean, you know, an absolute staple here at Evergreen Drift. Love to watch him drive. And Torin McMullen, man, he was heating up throughout the day. So let's see him go to battle right here with John Daniel, falling a little bit behind off the start line. So Torin McMullen taking a bit of a mid-line on the bank, trying to gain some proximity as John Daniel out front doing a nice job right now, navigating through this course the way he knows it, like the back of his hand. You know, what else is there to say right here is John Daniel just shredding through the course. Torin McMullen did a nice job of catching him by the end, though. I
want to tell you that our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. If you guys want to watch something really interesting, and it speaks to the skill of these drivers, with the white wheels in the back of Daniel, you could really see where he was picking up and letting off on the throttle. It was really fascinating. Yeah,
a good visual reference for, you know, the throttle, how he's navigating the car through this course, you know, especially when they grab the e-brake. It's a fun way to watch those wheels all of a sudden lock up and then all of a sudden just kick off again. Pretty cool there. You know, not a lot to shake a stick at right there between those two except for Torin's bank run. But let's see what Torin does now that he's out in front. He's leading the way. He's doing a nice job, nice and high on the bank in that lead position. So he gets to set the pace. He gets to decide where they go. And he was right there on the top line.
Yeah, but Daniel's in there close enough to figure out what kind of sauce he's dipping his chicken nuggies in.
Maybe too close.
Tight
maybe getting some of that contraband Szechuan sauce. I don't know.
For chicken nuggies?
For chicken nuggies.
Wow. All right.
Hey, man, Rick and Morty brought it back, okay? Put some respect on the name.
You, too, like to live dangerously. Here is another look at it from the drones.
All right. So, yeah, John Daniel really not wanting to leave it in the judges' hands, right? He doesn't want them to decide his fate, so he's trying to take it in his own hands. And look at that, a little bit of contact there. So I don't know if that's going to weigh against him. It looked like he kind of unsettled his car, so I don't know if that necessarily going to hold it. Oh, man, it did hold against him. They're going to send these guys one more time.
All right, so they will go once again as round of 16 battle. Patty Heald and Cameron with a K. Cook coming after it again for the round of 16.
One more times for you. One more times for you. Everybody getting one more time.
One more time.
One more times. All right. So Patrick Heald out front now trying to clean it up. And, man, that is not cleaning up. He's kind of taking the low-high line, which is not ideal. We want to see him just ride the bank high the whole way around, be predictable. Wow, good snappy transition there from Patrick Heald, coming through the infield, coming through that crossover as Cameron Cook trying to catch up to him, trying to gain some proximity, but Patrick Heald is just trying to put him out of his misery.
Heald has carried a lot of speed through this course, and even through that tail end of it where you see a lot of them slow down. Flip them around, Cook versus Heald. Here we go.
Woo, Cameron Cook riding that high line, a little bit of a Smith grind coming into that high line, doing a nice job there. Patrick Heald spinning out, coming in the infield. Now Cameron Cook, he's the lead driver. He's setting the pace. We got to keep him honest. He's got to complete this course layout. He's got to cross that finish line in drift. And hey, look, calm, cool, collected. Cameron Cook, we didn't even need to see the finish line. We knew he crossed it. We knew he had it handled.
Look at that, hanging the tire off the back for just a couple of seconds while we watch him finish this off. Let you know, Sparkle Wash Puget Sound, your source for residential and commercial power washing services. For over 55 years, Sparkle Wash technicians can handle it all. No project's too big or too small for Sparkle Wash Puget Sound.
Man, it looks like Cameron Cook handled it all out there as he takes out Patrick Heald. So nice job from Cameron, being consistent out there in that Ford Mustang, and sometimes that's half the battle.
All right, one more time, John Daniel, Torin McMullen. It was so fun on round one that we get it a second time.
Hey, might as well, man. Let's get definitive winners. Like I said, we want to make sure that the best of the best are moving on, sir. So, John Daniel out there leading the way. You know, he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's like, man, I should be, you know, fighting for podiums right now, not fighting Torin McMullen. But Torin McMullen's like, hey, put some respect on my name. I'm going to be right here, and I'm going to make you work for it right now. Look at that little left foot brake crossing the finish line. That's a nice first run from these two.
And you've said it a billion times. In order to have a really good run in chase, you have to have a really good run and lead. I think we just saw that on the first time.
Absolutely. So reversing the order now, Torin McMullen leading the way, doing a nice job. He was up high, dropped down a little bit low as he's coming off the bank into the infield, putting his car on that line, doing a nice job transitioning. John Daniel is not going to make that same mistake twice. Leaves a lot of room there for Torin to transition, sticks to his door, being real aggressive. Oh, taking the wing off the fence right there, right by the crowd. Nice job by Torin there on the lead run.
Wow, I don't know how you would score this one. I do not envy the judges in this at all, as two good lead runs, two really good chase runs as well.
Yeah, but you can see John Daniel being very aggressive there on the chase, trying to put his car in there. You know what? Just constantly a factor there. And you know what? Find himself into the grade 8 for that risk and reward.
All right, so Daniel moves forward as we see two more of our stars here of drifting at Evergreen Speedway. Tyler Mayer and Matt Ruszewski, you are in for a treat.
Hey, we talk about Gaston and making those references. Well, this is Tale as Old as Time, Song as Old as Rhyme. Tyler and Ruszewski right here. This is a staple here at all of our DriftCons. It seems like these guys always go up against each other, and it is too much fun every time. Tyler Mayer out front leading the way, and Matt Ruszewski being aggressive in that Lordco 350Z. V8 power for Matt, JZ power for Tyler, and all the fun for everyone watching.
Oh, you know that Michael Fassbender X-Men meme? No, I said real drifting. Perfection.
Perfection.
May have just seen it right there.
Right here. This is what everyone wants to see. This is worth the price of admission every single time here, and we're so lucky that we get it almost every single time. Matt Ruszewski doing a nice job out there leading the way. Tyler Mayer trying to put his car to the door, but Matt, man, standing on that skinny pedal. Both these guys probably just got it absolutely matted right now, trying to get away from each other, but look at that, stuck to each other like glue, baby. Oh, and Tyler Mayer looping it out across the finish line.
I didn't catch that on the first run, did you? All right, so put them together and let's see how it goes.
So this is interesting. This is interesting, and I don't know if that was the full deciding factor for the judges in this battle, but let's see these guys if there's anything else glaring right now. Matt Ruszewski putting tire to door in the chase position, doing a nice job. Hey, Matt Ruszewski gets the lead. I don't know if Tyler's spin after the finish line held against him, but the judges saw enough to give Matt the win.
When it's that close, even those little tiny things can make a difference like that.
Dude, I mean, live, I was talking about how fine-tooth can this comb get for us to sift through these battles, and you know what? When we're watching Matt and Tyler, the teeth on the comb get so fine, you find one RCH through it, and you know what? That's what you got to focus on.
Oh, wow, Danny Jansen, or
contact?
Dakota Jansen, sorry, right up in the door panel of Dario. Dario on the lead, and Jansen getting to know him a lot better than I think Dario was prepared for.
Ooh, but then it got a little bit chaotic in the chase position there for Dakota Jansen. So let's run it back. Let's check the replay later.
Yes, we've got to
But
flip
we'll
their
check
spot.
out run number 2. Run number 2 right here. Dakota Jansen now gets to lead the way. He's going to set the pace. Dario Reddick's going to chase him down on the bank, doing a nice job there. You see them progressively putting on more angle throughout the bank, doing it. Oh, and Jansen shutting it down, driving straight. So might have some car issues. I think the car shut off. I think it lost power for a second, and that's what happened there. But like we said, lead driver sets the pace. If they fall out of drift, that's where that run ends. So
look at that.
It's unfortunate there, but man, he was being aggressive. I mean, he's going up against Mr. 97 right there, Mr. Connor McJesus. That's his number. He's trying to walk on water out here, and man, doing everything he can, sticking with him. What do you got for me, Caleb?
You referenced that 97 score of Dario's, but to our fans who are newly turning into drift, how rare is it to pull a 97 in your qualifying run?
Rare, extremely rare. And it was wild. Like, I mean, sometimes when you watch traditional qualifying, when they have scores out of 100, you kind of, start to see the caliber of driver. And there was, I think, 10 or 11 scores in the 90s. So you could see these drivers out here. The caliber is turning up. It was amazing to watch. But, I mean, it was a near-perfect run for Dario. And you know what? Garrett Therio's like, man, I see Dario out there. I think I could do this too. I think Garrett had a 95-point qualifying run. So he's putting that FC in all the right places. And Josh Wiens behind him, man. He's trying to stick it to his door.
It's Josh Wiens, who's kind of your RKO out of nowhere driver here. He got a free pass into this round of 8 in which he is running because somebody broke big.
Hey, look, sometimes better be lucky than good, man. I mean, that was the story of my hockey career for sure. But Josh Wiens out here, he's putting in the work, man, making that G35 sing, making it dance, putting it in all the right places, doing a nice job navigating through this course. But look at that. Can't be shaken, can't be stirred is Garrett Therio in that camo RX-7 out of nowhere, hitting them with the back end of the car as they cross the finish line. Let's check it out on the side-by-side replay.
All right, so this will be a really good indicator of how good Garrett Therio was right here. For Wiens, doesn't matter how you got to the top 8, it's what you're going to do with it. But unfortunately, Garrett Therio just all over him like Szechuan sauce on rice, right?
100%, dude. I mean, Garrett there, he gets the win. There's not enough that we could say here, but you know what? Garrett's looking good all day and is going to find himself set up pretty well to try and make his way to the podium.
All right, so your deep driver, Cameron Cook, is putting together a pretty good day here. He's been upsetting some higher seeds. It's his turn to take on Gaston as this run begins in the round of 8.
Yeah, so Gaston, man, V8 power, S chassis. He is fast, right? So he puts his car in all the right places, but it seems like you better buckle up, you better hold on, and you better be ready if you're going up against Gaston. And that's something that Cameron, you know, he's got some reps, you know, he's got some muscle memory built up, but Gaston, man, you see 2, 3, 4 car lengths between the two at the finish line. That's going to be tough to overcome.
Yeah, he floors it, and right here you can already see the distance that he is putting between himself and Cook just having to play catch-up almost the whole way.
Yeah, man, straight axle Ford Mustang. It's tough when you can't mess around with the alignment settings on the back there, trying to dial in a little bit more grip in that thing. And you know what? All these S chassis have the IRS in them. You know what? You could tow it in, make those back wheels just a steamroller and get all the traction out of them. That's what a lot of these guys are doing because they know they're going against big dogs, man. Everyone out here has some sort of power plant swap, right? They're trying to make more power. They're trying to come out here. I mean, everyone's got 400 plus, so it's like, hey, you better bring guns to gunfight, otherwise, you know what, you're going to be finding yourself packing up early.
So Cook now is going to have to put on a monster lead run, and it's a good-looking lead run. Unfortunately, Gaston just right there in his pocket the whole way through.
And that's one of those things. Cameron has been very consistent throughout the day, and that's what's got him to this point, you know. So he's hucking the car in, and every run that he's had has got incrementally better. Okay, so every time he goes out there, it gets better, it looks better, but it's also giving ample opportunity for guys like Gaston to run up right next to him, to get to his door, man. This is a close one. This is closer than it feels like right now, and I like what I'm seeing from both these guys, but you know what? The judges like what they saw from Gaston just a little bit better.
And again, we're into the top 8, so we're into the best at this point in time, and you have got to be truly, really elite to move forward now. It is Daniel versus Rushetsky. We're getting spoiled with another fantastic battle here in the round of 8.
So I saw this bracket made up, and the lower right hand of the bracket was so brutal. It was just heavy hitters after heavy hitters, and Matt Rushetsky finds himself up against the 35-time grassroots champion here. Both these guys former grassroots champions. Now they're seeing battle here at the Highline Shootout. John Daniel, higher qualified driver. He's leading the way first. He's setting the pace, but Matt Rushetsky took the hood off. It's getting a little hot out there. It's cooking. They're cooking out there on track and making it look good.
Take off all your hoods, as here's a look at the drone replay. Daniel and Rushetsky, and really at this point in time, you can throw the rankings out the window. We know how good both these guys are.
Yeah, I mean, we keep hearing those names. These names are said over and over on Home Track Heroes, and there's reason why. These guys are both phenomenal drivers, a lot of fun to watch, and you can see it right here. I mean, they're side by side the whole run. I mean, Matt, you see him backing off just a little bit and then diving in every transition. Unreal job by them on that first run. Run number 2, it's got to be just as good or better, right?
All right, well, let's see if there's a punch-counter punch that Daniel has.
Dancing, just dancing it in is Matt Rushetsky out front. John Daniel giving him room and sticking right there with them, man. He's trying to stay close just so he can cut through that smoke line, and look at that big angle from John Daniel as he dives it in, and Matt Rushetsky just pouring out smoke in that Lorco Racing 350Z. Man, both these guys right now, are you kidding me?
Battle of the day. Rushetsky says, let's dance. Daniel says, I'll salsa too, baby. Here we go.
Here we go. Pick a dancing partner, do-si-do, swinging around, coming through that bank, going into the infield, doing a nice job here. John Daniel cutting through that smoke line like we said, and look at that, parallel cars right next to each other, maximizing that angle, diving in one last time and trying to graze up against that wall. Matt Rushetsky gets the win and takes out John Daniel.
How can you call a winner in that? Goodness gracious.
Do you know who the real winners are?
We are.
We are. Everyone who gets to watch stuff like that, we're the real winners here.
We're spending too much time together. We can read each other's minds at this point.
100%.
Love it.
If we're the winners, does that mean that we could get a podium?
I think so.
We should get a podium in those big checks, right?
I want the actual money, though.
You want the actual money?
Yeah, big check for you, money for me.
Okay, deal.
Dario versus Terrio here, and this is a Final Four battle.
Final four, we're already there, huh? Wow, big snappy transitions from these guys. Yeah, you're there, and you better buckle up, because we're going, baby. Dario Redick setting that pace out front, and Garrett Theriot maximizing that angle as they cross the finish line. These guys are hyped.
Theriot pulled the hood off, too. It's a hoodless Sunday here on Home Track Heroes as we are ready to watch this one more time. And if you can hear the excitement level going up in our voices, that's because this is really good stuff.
This is wild right now. So Dario Redick is just opening the door. He says, hey, man, you want to put down a chase run? Here it is. You better do it. Garrett Theriot says, thank you, sir. May I have another? As he walks through with muddy boots and just stomps around, crossing the finish line. That is an unreal run number one.
Turn him around. Let's go round two. Theriot leads Redick. It's a 5 versus a 1 seed, but again, throw the seeds out here in the final four. These are all good stuff.
Just chucking it in is Garrett Theriot, and look at Dario Redick right there with him, matching that line, matching that angle. It's fun. You see him sawing at the wheel right here, keeping that car steady right where it's supposed to be. Big smoke line coming through. Oh my God, these guys, that beat up bash bar on Garrett, throwing big angle across to the finish line. Unbelievable work.
Wow. For the purists out there who like to watch things like car control, throttle control, etc., what these guys are doing at the speeds they are, and coming from this transition right here, from the bank into the flat and maintaining speed and control is just incredible.
Yeah, nice work from both these guys. Like I said, this is like the most OG track layout that we've had. And you know what? It's an OMT for these two as we're going to head it to commercial.
One more time. We'll see it when we come back on Home Track Heroes. We are in the final four here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11 DRIFTCON Soldiers on. Big thank you to Green Shields Industrial Supply for sponsoring all of our drifting, as well as All Ply Roofing, the sponsor of Home Track Heroes. Well, Ben White, this has been a blast. Gaston versus Matt Ruszewski in the final four to kick us off.
The only thing good about this is on both halves of these final four battles is we got Canadians here battling against each other. On the other side, it's U.S. So we guaranteed to have a Canada-U.S. battle in the end for the finals.
It's like the Stanley Cup.
It's like the Stanley Cup, except, you know what, the team I might like wins? I don't know. I don't know how that works.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yes. So it is Gaston. He is in the white and red and black car. The blue is Ruszewski. And round one, we're going to get another look at it from the drone.
Got good look at Old Glory up there. But here we go for this battle of these great white northerners. Gaston leading the way out front. Like we said, hey, he is ready for battle, and you better be ready for it. Matt Ruszewski says, yeah, I know. I'm here, dude. What else do you want? I'm trying to get in the passenger seat of this S13 right now in my 350Z. Look at this one more transition. Grazing against the wall. Both these guys crossing the finish line. That's a nice run number one.
Nearly just smooching that outside wall as they come through. Ruszewski moves to the outside lane. He leaves with a big old fade coming into the first turn.
Absolutely. Just dancing it in there. Doing a nice job of using that momentum to get that car nice and high on the bank. Maximizing angle. He's coming to the infield. And you see him just standing on throttle. Big snappy transition. My goodness, Matt Ruszewski. And Gaston Morrison right there with him. He's expecting it. Ooh, but wasn't expecting something right at the end there. Had to check up just a little bit at that last transition.
All right, so as we get a look at the drone replay, let you guys know Coastal Community Bank. Community is the middle name. The Coastal Bank staff take the time to understand your business, help it move forward. Coastal Community Bank has multiple locations throughout the region to handle every bank you need. Details at coastalbank.com. And the key part of this run is coming in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, so Gaston right here taking a very shallow line, kind of trying to inch his way through and find himself a little bit caught up, pinching himself off as Matt Ruszewski had to have room to transition, and he got a little room to make it right to the finals.
All right, so we know the Canadian side of the bracket. It's time to find out the American side because we got a one more time coming up. Dario Redick, the black and blue car in the top lane. The gray camo on the bottom lane is Garrett Theriot. Snohomish versus Lake Stevens. The epic battle of high schools continues on.
All right, here we go. Big initiation for both these guys. Oh, and Garrett Theriot kind of drops off a little bit. Both these guys V8 power under the hood of their Japanese cars. You know what? You got to put God's motor in them and make them actually work here as they are doing work, transition, doing a nice job sawing at it, trying to keep these cars on the track, in the lines. And you know what? Garrett Theriot, even though he didn't have the prettiest initiation, finishes pretty strong.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback. And at the same time, he needed to make up a little bit at the tail end, and you can see him do it. Here it is from the drone. Dario came way down racetrack to start that first corner off, and he got a big one going into the turn.
Yeah, and if it's me looking at this, it looked like Garrett was trying to go tit for tat with them, right? So we saw Dario throw in that big feint initiation, and he was trying to do the same thing in the chase position. But a lot of times in that chase position, you got to take a little bit of a different technique to try and maintain proximity, especially when you have a big, fast bank like we do here at Evergreen Speedway.
Okay, so flip them. Terrio leads, Dario follows, and this is for a spot in the finals.
Yeah, so Garrett Dario looking nice out front. Dario falling back just a little bit, maybe not expecting this big speed from that FC RX-7 of Garrett Dario. But man, look at these guys navigating through. A little bit of a reinitiation there from Garrett Dario. Not the smoothest again, but just kind of waving the crowd, saying, hey, hi, how are ya? And crossing the finish line. Let's see if anything more glaring or if anything gets reinforced here on this drone replay.
All right, from the drones, and here at the very start, you've got the educated eyes, Ben. What are we looking for?
Yeah, so you saw Dario in the chase position. He didn't throw in that big feint, right? He wasn't losing traction like Garrett was in the chase position. He found his way. He kind of followed the way of the car and initiated in well, side by side, door to door. And you know what? Garrett Dario, he got rewarded in this one, and I think that he just had a better lead run.
Okay, so that answers that. As we move on, for third and fourth, it's Dario versus Gaston, and as good as they've been all day, you're not surprised. You'd be not surprised if this was 1-2.
Right. And, I mean, this is the third place battle. Both these guys have a bit of a chip on their shoulder as, it looks like Gaston had a little bit of a reinitiation there in the chase position. But neither of these guys want to lose twice in one day. So they really want that last podium spot, but most of all, they want to end the day on a good note.
Yeah, nothing. Going home on a win is still a win, and only one guy gets to do that without being beaten. One guy gets to do it with being beaten once.
This is a good shot right here. Both those guys are on the high line. Gaston trying to anticipate it coming off a little bit early, and right there's a little bit of a weeble wobble reinitiation there from him. So that's going to count against them. It's going to be a little bit of a deficit as they go into run number 2. All
right, flip them. Gaston now leads, Dario chases, and this is for third.
Yeah, so Dario's trying to put a stamp on it right here. Gaston is trying to do everything he can to sway the judges in his favor. Goes a little bit low on the bank. Not ideal, not what he wants to do in that lead position. Dario doing everything he can to stick right with them. And look at that. He is right with them. He adapted. He overcame. He found the line that Gaston was doing and stuck it right there with them. Nice job from both these guys that crossed the finish line. Let's take another look at that bank run and see if you see what I was seeing.
Hell, he even improvised in there as down into... And
so, yeah,
Gaston leads.
He hucked it in, so he goes high, and then he goes way low, comes off the bank way early. So it wasn't as bad as I first thought, but, man, it could have been a lot better there for Gaston, especially when you're trying to go for a podium spot.
Margins razor thin, and as such, third place run. Congratulations, Dario Reddick. He'll take that one. And here is for the win, guys. Garrett Dario, Matt Ruszewski, gonna go side by side for the W.
Yeah, so Garrett Dario, he is a former Formula Drift license holder. He earned it in that FC RX-7, so he's very familiar with that car. He's got it working well, and you know what? His driving is up to par right now. Looking fantastic in the lead position. And you know what? He's looking that good because Matt Ruszewski is putting it on his door, making him look good, helping him look good. And look at these guys side by side. We got the camo, we got the blue, we got eyes for it. Amazing job for both these guys. Big angle across the finish line. That seems what Garrett Dario is liking to do in that car.
He has put a lot of angle, a lot of smoke down over the course of the day. Our rapidly drying off race course. You noticed first segment, a lot of drivers kind of going Donkey Kong with the barrels. Haven't seen nearly the same slippage ever since.
No, it dry now. It's fully dry. The only thing you have to worry about now is track temperatures, whether the sun's on the track or not. But look at these guys, man. Matching everything, tit for tat. Matt Ruszewski backing off, giving him ample opportunity to transition. And a fantastic first run. Let's reverse the order. Let's send Matt Ruszewski out to set the pace. And here we go. Could this be the last run we have of our Highline Shootout?
All right, Ruszewski and Terrio getting after it. This one's for the win.
Matt Ruszewski Reshetsky staying on that bank. He never wanted to get off. He wanted to stay on that ride, but brought it into the infield, doing a nice job. And look at that. Garrett Therio sawing at it, sticking with him. Ooh, staying with it just a little bit too long, maybe, as they cross the finish line, leaving a big smoke line and just letting the crowd bathe in it right there.
And again, it can be something extraordinarily small when you have expertise like this between Reshetsky and Terrio.
Man, look at this bank run from Matt. Stayed on the bank as long as he possibly could, doing a nice job here. And you know what, just very smooth out front. I think right here, if Garrett had anticipated this transition a little bit better, it would have been closer. But you know what, a decision has to be made. Let's send it down to Ben White at our podium ceremony.
So we're going to start with our Highline Shootout drivers. So we're going to bring third place up here, and it's going to be Dario Reddick. So let's get Dario Reddick up here, wherever he may be. All right. Yeah, you can tell he's young the way he just spryly jumped right off track and up into here. So Dario, man, a sick bit of driving today. Let's see. I want to take a look a little bit at this bracket, man. You had some killers out here. You had some new guys. Dakota Jansen out there killing in the E46, but you got through and you had to go one more time with Garrett Therio, man. It's been a hot minute since we've seen a healthy Garrett. And, like, how did that feel going and doing battle against him? Because we're drawing, like, yin and yang comparisons between you two. Like, you see confidently calm, and then he seems, like, wild child aggressive out there. So what did you see from the car and try and, you know, back me up in my assumptions here?
Yeah, there was not an easy battle today. The battle against Garrett was so much fun. In the burnout pit, he was on some old tires, and they delaminated before our battle even started. So that was how I was able to stay on him and get that one more time the first time. Then he went to the new ones, and I couldn't keep up. But it was so much fun regardless. Both runs, I had so much fun.
Okay, so a little birdie tells me, and I saw you guys posting before we made it to the event, that you were going to try and run the S14, right? So a more competition, higher level car, and then we see you out here in the 13. So what was the thought process between the cars and what you ended up going with?
Well, the S14 has no windows, and it was raining really hard. So the S13 is really comfortable. I can put the windows up, have some heat going, you know, and I was hoping for it to keep raining, but it unfortunately did not. But I got to a podium. I qualified #1, so in the rain, it did amazing, and then in the dry, it did pretty good.
Yo, dog, a 97-point qualifier. You left 3 points on the board. I mean, I feel at that point, it's like, yo, just give them points. But, I mean, it was awesome to watch. I mean, you drove your butt off all day. I agree that driver comfort is, like, prime paramount, so the 13 was a great choice. Why don't you run us through some of the people keeping you on track, keeping you together. Do we need to read it off the car? Can you see the car from here? It's too far away? Okay, let's rattle them off as best you can. You can at least read your sweatshirt.
Yeah. I got the Lime here. The Lime's always been supporting me for like so long and having a great time. Lux Performance, Tire Streets, Accelera, Fuel Lab, JMI, Mansfield Dynamics, and Apex Performance.
Yeah, you know what? And it sounds like you got some helpers keeping you on track, keeping it dialed in. One more big round of applause here for Dario Reddick, taking home third place at the Highline Shootout. But Garrett, we'll talk to you first, man, because it's been a hot minute since we've seen you on track and seen you comfortable. Is that accurate in my description, in my assessment of your driving today?
That is correct. Last year around this time I was in a hospital bed, so it's been a long fight to get back here, and I just kept turning laps on that sim, and I'm just glad that all these fans came out and I got to show you all of my hard work.
Dude, we're hyped that you're back here. It looks like you got that FC dialed in. It seemed like there was some mechanical issues going on with it. Is that something that you want to touch on, or we want to just overlook that and talk about the cool stuff?
I'll touch on that. My friend Shane Cannon set the car up for me this time. We changed the steering ratio to a 2 instead of 3.5, so that's why I was pretty wild out there. But set the tone, boys. Let's go.
I feel like the wild matches your driving style, because like I said, you probably overheard, I was talking to Dario, man, like we gotta have the wild child out there. I feel like that embodies you perfectly. So I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch. You made it to the finals in that thing. Was that something that you kind of expected? Is something you working towards, or were you out there just drifting, baby?
I really was just out there trying to I mean, yesterday I had some really good practice laps, and they made me feel good and confident. Then the rain hit today, and the confidence went down a little bit, but I think it's like driving a 900 horsepower three-wheel tricycle, and had some shred McMuffins and had some fun, boys.
It was awesome to watch. Hey, man, run us through who's keeping you on track, who's keeping you motivated, who's keeping that car out here and keeping you happy.
Yeah. Winter Circle Garage is the company that got my car here. He's also my best friend, and he's helped me while I've been sick. I wasn't able to do any of this. My friend Taco, he did tires for me all day. I got to drive with my brother in Team Tandem in his brand new car today. That was super awesome. And Shane Cannon set up the car, and she's fast.
She fast. So big round of applause here for Garrett Theriot, killing it all day. And we'll move over here. Matt, we looked at the bracket. I didn't even look at the bracket, and then it was shown to me, and someone said, look at the bottom right of the bracket. I'm like, that is the hardest possible path that anyone could have to a podium, because right out the gate, I mean, you won your first battle, and then you had to go up against Tyler Mayer. You won that battle, you went Daniel. I think I might have that backwards, but either way, it's just like, it doesn't matter. Any of these could be a finals battles, and so how did you go into it mentally? Was it something that you had to prepare yourself, work yourself up for, or did you kind of like calm down, cool, collected, see how it was going to go out there on track?
With the current conditions, I mean, going from a dry practice day to a dry morning to a wet qualifier to a patchy first couple battles to right to dry to where we were before, it was anybody's game. We just came up to the line with confidence and just did the best we could, and it worked out, I think.
Well, you guys, I mean, I talked to your team. I saw you guys in the pits right before, we went out there to compete, and you could tell that the work was being done to get you guys to this point now. And so when you go out there, there has to be this quiet confidence, right? That, I mean, your team's doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing, keeping you motivated out there?
Yeah, I mean, I was 3 monsters deep, so I was ready to party.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, and you got those, did you get the US monsters that have all the dyes in it to give you all the special tisms and stuff?
I think so, yeah, it definitely tismed me out. I was
yeah, that's right.
Pretty hot in chase.
Just getting locked in, getting dialed in, dude. Absolutely. I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch. Name some names, right? We're talking about the team. Name the team names. Name the sponsors behind closed doors that are keeping you out here, keeping this car on track and for our viewing pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've said it before to my team. None of this would be possible without them. Ever since I've linked up with Living Legends Motorsports, we've been dialed every event. Me and Jamie go to every event together. The boys are on it. Matt, my crew chief, he's the perfect amount of speak that I need through comms. He actually had to fight me to be on comms because I didn't like talking in the car. He used to throw up numbers at me when I'd go in, and like the competitors thought he was throwing gang signs up or something. But yeah, I mean, Matt, Jamie, Mark, Forrest, one of the guys that wasn't here today, Simon, John, Tanner even stepped in, a local guy. I mean, everybody, it's a team play to get to where we are right now. In the Pacific Northwest, drifting's just gotten so advanced, and coming back to it over the last few years, it's a pleasure to drive with these boys.
Well, it's awesome to watch. It's fun to have you out here. And I mean, you're a staple out here at all these DRIFTCON events. So don't get too big. Always keep us in your hearts for sure, no matter what. But right now, we're going to announce the winner of the Highline Shootout, so they get the big cheer, and then second place gets the little cheer, right? So that's how we want to do it. So today, winner of the Highline Shootout is going to be Matt Ruszewski. Matt Ruszewski getting that W. And that means Garrett Theriot taking home second place in that FC RX-7.
Home Track Heroes continues on here. Thanks for letting us entertain you on a Sunday night here on Seattle 11. The High Bank Shootout all done. Time 14 Tandem. Ben White, I'm Caleb Hartz. All right, let's roll. And as opposed to one-on-one battles, Ben, educate us a little bit. What are we looking at here for Team Tandem?
Oh, I don't know if I'm the subject matter expert on this one, but I'll do my best to educate everybody listening, including yourself.
Okay.
So what we saw before is the cars on track were competing against each other, right? They're trying to do better than each other, and they're trying to move on through that car, through that competitor. Now, with this team tandem format, the cars that we see on track are working together as a team. So we're going to see at least 3 cars at a time out here on track, and they're going to try and work together to put on the best show. So they want to be, you know, in sync. They want to match each other's line, angle, get up close to each other. As we see right now, Team Good Enough looking real good out there, all black with white wheels. I like their style, man.
That style points aplenty there. So you're going to get the run, and then you're going to get a drone replay. Not necessarily always the whole run. Sometimes it'll just be clips. But again, this is Team Tandem. It is Good Enough, and they're going to take on the group Ruiner coming up next. And here's the replay of their first run, and the course has changed for this as well.
Yeah, the course has changed. I mean, you know, we don't need to have a highly competitive bank layout with this. I mean, this is for funsies. This is out here knocking doors with the boys, right? So, you know, these teams get put together. They're all homies, and, you know, just coming out here to have fun and put on a show. So we have an infield layout. It opens the door for a lot more cars to be able to come out here, a little less risk. And you know what, we get to see some pretty cars out here, like on Team Ruiner right now. So out front, there's a, you know, S13, 180SX, whatever you want to call it, a BRZ, and then a JZX. So a big, you know, a juxtaposition of cars out here. But you know what, they're making it work as a team. So Ruiner out here, they got the guy out front. He's trying to set to a good lead run down here, and you know what, when you get 3 cars, it gets a little chaotic sometimes.
You had more abbreviations in there than the United States government has agencies. Goodness gracious. Here's the drone look at this first run for Ruiner. And same ideas apply. You're looking for style, you're looking for line, and you're looking for them all to kind of mimic each other in terms of speed and angle and all the way through the course, right?
Right. And so this is something where it's not necessarily like they have, you know, clipping zones, you know, inner and outer touch and goes, any of that. But they have a predetermined course layout, and they say, do with this what you want, okay? So ideally, that lead driver is going to set a very wide line and leave the door open for both of his other teammates to, you know, have great proximity and stick with them there. So we see Sam Jardine out front in that Volvo, that turbo brick, and he's, you know, laying down a very nice lead run for Nick Jardine and Kyle Higa. And man, they're looking very good out there. They're looking good enough.
I would say good enough for sure. Now, important to this as well, we've talked about it before. It's 2 runs per team, and we're getting a replay of each run that they make per this matchup. That second in-line driver has got a ton of responsibility in terms of team performance.
I mean, they're the meat of the sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they're the bologna to my sandwich.
All right.
So they're like one of the most important parts. But you know what? That third driver has to adapt to 2 different cars and what they're doing out there. I mean, it's a lot going on, but these guys, grassroots level drivers, but they're phenomenal out there in Team Good Enough. And let's see if Team Ruiner has anything that they can do, if they have an answer, if they can keep up with them. And they're looking pretty good out there. So we got Josh Chesmore, Marcus Lamb, and Logan Kahn out here. I don't know who drives what car. These are new cars to my eyes, and I feel like if I had seen them before, I would recognize it. Very nice cars, very well put together. And like I said, you know, we have a lower speed track layout. It brings out nicer cars, and that's what we want here at these DRIFTCON events.
And to that point, you've got drivers who are not necessarily competing in the one-on-one high bank shootouts or our big bounty tournaments necessarily. They're coming out here to run with the boys and just do fun things out with their drifting cars.
Dude, this is like a kaleidoscope of drifting right now.
Oh, I told you.
Blowing
there
my
is
mind.
the Hobbs Special Quad Box. 4 runs at once from everybody and what you got going.
I don't know where to look. It's like drifting red zone.
Pick your favorite and root them on.
This is amazing. This is so much drifting.
And good enough is good enough to move forward in the first round
oh my God.
of Team Tandem.
I'm going to throw up. Okay, I'm back.
Settled?
Puke and rally. Puke and rally.
All right, you're good. While you do that, we're going to watch Ride the Wall. They were the 4 seed coming in here. Ride the Wall takes off and goes first. And we'll tell you that Granite Construction is the proud sponsor of our Super Sprint Car Series and a world leader in the construction industry. Granite Construction, an award-winning company, a great place to work if you're looking for a career change. Find your dream job today at graniteconstruction.com.
All right, so you might see some familiar cars out here. So out front, we got Miguel Valencia in the Miata. He's setting the pace, and then he's got Dario Reddick and Garrett Therio behind him, and then he's got Brendan Therio back there. So I don't know if you remember Brendan Therio typically drives a white Ford Mustang as Team Ride the Wall, but you know what? It turns out he's got some style. He's got that 1 Series BMW with a wide body Tandem kit on it. Looks very good, and I was very nervous for this car out here on track. Beautiful car, nice build, and I just wanted to leave in one piece.
He even drove a late model for a blink of an eye. I think it was a year.
Late model Hornets, I don't know.
Whatever it was.
Some of that silly roundy round stuff.
Now, check this out at the end. You got somebody in the passenger seat flying the arm out with the video camera going.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't catch it off the drone there.
I hope track staff doesn't see that. That's a $100 fine.
I saw nothing.
You see nothing?
I saw nothing. From the run number 2, Gridlock is coming out. So here is Gridlock, and one of these cars looks familiar. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I've never seen that late car.
You've never seen it in your life,
Not
okay?
once.
Depends who's asking.
I'm also half blind.
All right. On the other half that can see, I guess.
Thank you.
That's Darren Benz out front in that 350Z. We got Tanner Emery in the E46, and then I don't know if I think it's Mike Randall in the 350Z. If not, it's Ian Calpel. They have 4 drivers listed here. One of them didn't make it here, but the minimum is 3. All right. That might come into play a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay.
The coordination for 4 is it's an even higher level of skill when they can get around and get 4 out there in the track.
Right, and Ride the Wall is making it happen. These guys competitors right now. So Gridlock trying to throw it down. Darren Benz doing a nice job in that 350Z, leaving an ample opportunity for his teammates to stick it with his door, to put on a show. You know what? Tanner Emery doing a nice job, but that third driver in the 350Z, I mean, it's a lot of pressure back there reacting to 2 cars, doing what he can.
So if you had a Team Tandem group, how would you sequence the cars in terms of power and getting it down to the track? Would you go slow to fast, fast to slow, mix match? What would you do?
So the biggest part of it here, as I get louder in my microphone, is the lead driver, right? So you want someone who can throw down consistent runs, all right, and give ample opportunity for the teammates to stick with them, right? So right here we see a Miata, okay? Miata out front doing its thing. Miata's not going to run away from anyone, especially V8-powered S chassis, FCs, etc. Right?
Might try running away from a cop once in a while, but that's a completely different.
That's completely different. It might try and run away on a go-kart track once in a while, but you know what? Those are few and far between opportunities. But you put a consistent driver out front, someone who's not going to spin, and someone who's not going to run away from everybody.
Okay.
All right? So, you know what? Miata's perfect for that. And you know what? Miguel, he was absolutely shredding. Like, I think I would recognize this Miata because it's actually a pretty good-looking car. I don't know if I've seen Miguel out here before in like competition, any of these DRIFTCON events. So coming out here, seeing him shred like he does, hey, kudos to him.
Threw down a pretty good lap. So you put consistent out in the front and a car that's not going to run away from everybody.
Exactly.
And then it's behind it. It's just okay.
Comfort levels.
Okay.
Comfort levels, right? So that there's some schools of thought. If you have someone who's comfortable and aggressive, put them in the second spot. Because then at least you have those 2 cars that are going to be side by side, aggressive, and have that. And then third guy, like, hey, keep up.
Yep.
And you know what? We're going to keep going through. We're going to keep seeing a lot of these teams and see a lot of drivers that we saw earlier in the day go into the team format. And you could see that, the former battle format helps them as they go into this team.
Okay, so this is Gridlock. If you ended up having a John Daniel, who John Daniel is absolutely killer at just about anything he does drift-wise, right? But you know in the third spot that he has so much power in that car that he has that keeping up is never going to be an issue. He'd be an awesome anchor for the back of your team on your Team Tandem.
Exactly. So it looks like Team Ride the Wall is going to get the win here against Team Gridlock, so nice job from them. And we're going to move on. And speaking of having a John Daniel on your team.
Hey, what do you know? The Goon Squad is coming up.
Goon Squad.
All right, Goon Squad getting ready to make their Home Track Heroes presented by Alply Roofing debut here. Here comes the Goon Squad, and Johnny Daniel about to make me look good and running in the second position or not. We'll find out.
Yeah, so John Weagle's out front. We got John Daniel and then Julio Loesch back there. Two guys of grassroots champions, and John Weigel, man, he's just there for the vibes. He's just there to set that pace and have John Daniel and Julio Loesch put it on his door to door as they come through this course. Goon Squad showing you why they're like team champions of the Northwest.
Wow, the Goon Squad, who I believe we have seen win Team Tandem here on
Many
Home Track
times.
Heroes in days of yore. Rare that they're the 2 seed, not the 1 seed, but again, good enough, looked awfully good enough out in that first run. So here's the second. Here's the drone run, and we got to thank the drone operators. Again, they are Zero Sympathy FPV and Armani FPV for all of their action they brought us today here on Home Track Heroes.
Yeah, so Goon Squad always brings in the team tandem format, and then they're going up against the Tandem Knights. So Tandem Knights, we got Jesse Ian, you got Ian Beebe up there. We got, I think it's Josh Shields, because they have 4 listed here, right? So we got Jesse Ian. It says Steven Edwards, Josh Shields, Jordan Hilmo. So I think it's actually, it's Ian out front, and then we got, I believe it's Josh Shields and Jordan Hilmo.
Okay, so Steve was the slacker who no-showed.
No, you know what? It's Hilmo went out.
Oh.
Hilmo went out. So he was supposed to be at the Highline.
Okay.
He had car issues. So I feel like it's Steven Edwards and Josh Shields. We could just interchange these names, and you know what?
Fair.
No one's going to know different.
Is it one of those deals where you like fired it up, and the engine ended up sounding like a bowl of Rice Krispies? Snap, crackle, pop.
So it sounded more like a fork in a garbage disposal. So yeah.
And having doing much home improvement here lately, I feel for you on that one.
R.I.P., bro.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, Tandem Knights, they're out here, and you know what? They are another team out here that comes out to DRIFTCON and always puts down a show. Very nice cars. Very, very nice cars, and it's like they're subtly nice as well. So we'll switch it back to the Goon Squad as, you know, these drivers go 2 runs each kind of thing. And you know, you kind of pseudo put them up against each. Ooh, and Goon Squad having a little uncharacteristic error here. So you know what, John Weigel kind of out on his own, and John Daniel and Julio Loesch, I mean, they're hanging back. They're trying to catch up, trying to get with their buddy there, but that was something that we don't see a lot from John Daniel.
Well, looking to get back in sync here at the very end, and yeah, you saw it. First and second were cattywampus going through the middle section of our course. Let's look at the replay and see if we can point out what happened here.
I think we caught it a little bit late in this replay. So now Julio Loesch is just trying to stick it to John Daniel's door. I mean, he's doing his job. He's just trying to get close to the one in front of him, do as best as he can there. And John Daniel, it looked like he didn't give enough room for Weigel to transition. So
he was in catch-up mode basically for half the course.
Yeah, ketchup and liquor mode, man, is tough for him. So we'll switch over the Tandem Knights as they're now initiating, man. They have a chance here to take out the Goon Squad. Let's see what they do with that as Jesse Ian out front. Nice job in that S chassis. Like I said, if you got some calibrated eyes, and oh man, that last driver, I believe it's Shields, is far back, having a hard time. And you know, we see these 2 drivers, man, a little left foot brake there, dragging those fronts, pushing them through. I mean, look at these cars. Use your calibrated eyes. Take a look at them. They are some nice vehicles, including an S15, something that we never got here stateside. But you know what? Throwing it out there, throwing all caution to the wind. And,
wow,
throwing it stage right as he makes a quick exit. There's the Tandem Knights that are down to 2 as they finish the duration of this course. And 2 tandem drivers does not make a team.
No, it does not. To that point, the Goon Squad moves on. We move on. More of Team Tandem coming up next as you're tuned in to Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. We are Home Track Heroes. It is Seattle 11, and it is Team Tandem drifting with this guy, Super Panda White, making them weird camera faces. I am Caleb Hart, and we are still in the round of 8 on Team Tandem. Final round of 8 matchup is medium rare, which is a proper way to have your steak, and a good Team Tandem team. Kicking things off here, they'll be taking on RPS Works, who will be following them up as we're up and running.
All right, so medium rare, we've seen them a bunch at these DRIFTCON Team Tandem events as well. This is going to be Simeon McKinley up there in the 350Z, leading the way, setting the pace. And we've seen the other 2 earlier in the day. We got Tyler Mayer in the TMR Racing Pulse for Health S13, and Alex Lindsay bringing up the rear. So these 3, they've driven together a bunch. They've brought home some hardware previously, and they want to do it again here.
These guys put down a nasty run. Ooh. Give it the old Ben White choof right there from me.
Choof.
As you're going to get a whole second run of this, courtesy of the drone guys and the up-top footage. This was nice.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, like I said, they brought home hardware before. It looks good. You see a little left foot brake, or a lot of left foot brake in Alex Lindsay's case. But look at that, just stacked up. And it's something that's like, yeah, this is what medium rare does. It's like, no, this is pretty sick. You got to put some respect on it. This is a rad show that they're putting on. So fantastic job here on run number 1 for medium rare.
And for frame of reference, these guys don't have in-cockpit communication or anything like that. They're not coordinated other than what their eyeballs see for the driver that's going up and ahead of them, and familiarity with the runs that they're putting on, as here comes RPS Works to challenge them.
Yeah, so the RPS, it kind of goes off the chassis code for 240SXs that are the hatchback style. RPS is the beginning of the chassis code. That's why RPS Works. You'll notice there's a S14 in there. He's just standing in. He's got his S13 hatch being built, but that's Derek Pompeo, and then Brendan Nilsson and Ruvim Vasiluk. I butchered that.
Wow.
Sorry. Don't havoc me and light your pitchforks and come to the booth. Sorry about that. But Derek actually has like a super rare body kit on that lead car. It's a GP Sports kit. It's one of only 2 in the United States. The second one is on a car, but the car doesn't like operate, so he's the only one with that kit.
Wow.
Which is a wild thing. Like, if you want to get dorky about it, I've seen that kit for like over a decade in Japan. I'm like, I wonder when someone's going to get weird enough stateside to run it. Boom, D-Pumps, he doing it.
Okay, so you say weird, like, what's street value on a body kit like that?
More than you can afford, pal.
If I have to ask how much it was, I can't afford it. You are so right. Meanwhile, medium rare is not having the same second run as this. Is all discombobulated.
Why they do that?
I don't know.
What even happened? I got distracted. Dropping Fast and Furious lines.
They overcooked the steak.
Oh no.
Let's see where it all went wrong.
So medium rare went well done, but it doesn't mean well done. It means poor steak preparation cooking.
It means send the steak back.
Oh man, what happened here? So let's check this out.
Good?
Simeon's out front. Okay, this looks good. They're a little bit out of frame, and oh man, so a little contact there. And you know what? A little birdie had told me that during that contact, it affected Tyler Mayer's emergency kill switch. So it killed power to the car and just shut it down. And I thought that was super weird because I talked to Tyler, that's the little birdie, after the event, and he said that, like, that's the only mechanical he's really ever had in that car. Like, mechanical failure that's taken him, possibly out of competition. So let's see what happens here. RPS Works, man, they have a big advantage on their hands. They got to get through this run, got to make it look good. You see them sawing at the wheel, and man, they are on the razor's edge of making this happen. I mean, their heart's got to be beaten. They're like, man, we could take out medium rare right here. Oh, that kit. Why are you touching that kit, boy?
Knocked it off.
Oh, no, dude. Knock it off, and he did, literally.
Oh, so you saw the first run from medium rare was OP. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, like, send back them ramen noodles and call for something different, right?
Mm-hmm.
RPS Works with 2 okay-ish runs. I guess beauty's going to be in the eye of the beholder here.
And so the thing is, like, they just had to kind of get through this run in drift without, like, doing something dumb. And unfortunately, they did something dumb. So the comparisons there, they gave it to medium rare. And so basically, I think that's kind of in hopes of medium rare going through doing good things in the future.
Okay.
Man,
it's a speculative win.
It's a speculative. I mean, and it's a lot like whose line is it anyway at this point, right? I mean, the points are given out; they don't matter.
Right. The rules are made up.
The rules are all made up as we go along, right? So we're going back. This is the Final Four now, so this is good enough. You remember we got the Jardine brothers, Sam and Nick, and Kyle Higa bringing up the rear. Man, these guys are absolutely on one today at DRIFTCON.
Yeah, our show is brought to you by All Ply Roofing, and that was another killer run by Good Enough. Let's get a look at it from the drone's point of view. Is it going to be good enough? It's the first of 2 for them because they have got to hold off Ride the Wall, who is coming up here in about, 8 seconds or so is good enough. Just cruising on through and finishing a very, very good run.
Making it look easy.
Yes.
making it look easy and smooth, right? So, like, nice job from them. And let's see if Ride the Wall has an answer for it. That Miata chucking it in. Dario Reddick sticking right there with him. And, man, it's tough. They got 4 cars deep, right? This team, they're trying to overachieve. They got that extra car out back. But, hey, man, oh!
No! Full send into the wall. That's
Garrett Dario. I mean, we got 3 cars trying to complete out this run, but Garrett Dario, that was not ideal, him getting a good look at that wall.
Well, we're going to get another chance to take a peek at it. He might need to check his brake lines. Maybe something was non-functional. Green Shields.
Check his brake lines, check his underwear, one of the two.
Green Shields, your trusted local family-owned store near since 1953, specializing in brake lines, clutch lines, and especially high-performance lines designed for drift cars and competitive racing. And, yeah.
So that was a tough one. We didn't get a good look at it there from the replay, but, you know, just kind of exited stage left there was Garrett Dario. I mean, that's tough for them because, you know, it has to be at least 3, but, like, if you start the run with 4, all 4 need to, like, come through. So that's going to be a deficit against them.
If you pile one into the wall, that's bad.
That is a bad.
Yeah.
That is a bad.
Simplicity. Good enough. And again, simplicity. These guys are just out there looking like, I don't know, looking like they've got some kind of telepathic connection between the 3 of them. They're all just turning in sequence. They're all about the same speed. They all look exactly the same except for the Volvo out front. And another just rock-solid run for those guys.
Well, that's part of the team thing, right? Like, I mean, you make it look more official when you got that color scheme thing going on. So all black cars, all white wheels. Goon Squad says they ripped off their style. I don't know, man. I think that they kind of saw them. They were, you know, inspired by Goon Squad and want to emulate.
How do you rip off the classic black tux with white shirt look? Right?
I mean,
it's a classic. Everybody can do that.
Just putting on the Ritz out there, dude.
All right, Ride the Wall. Let's see if they can avoid putting Terrio into the wall this time. As we're off and running.
Taking the name a little bit literally there, but Garrett Dario just got a good look at it, but you know what? Now he's trying to make up for lost time here. You see 2 cars in frame, now 3, now 4. Ride the Wall, making it happy, and you see a little cell phone video in the passenger seat there, and that's what it's all about, man. It's all about having fun with the homies, having fun with your friends, putting them in the passenger seat, and giving them the ride of a lifetime.
Oh, it's going to look dope on the Instagram once it gets posted up there.
Yeah, check my reels.
Yeah. Fantastic second run from those guys. Unfortunately, they had a deficit to overcome. Let's get a look at it from the drone one more time.
Yeah, man, trying to keep all 4 of these cars in frame on this drone. That's what we're doing right here. Nice job from them. You see a pretty good set of transitions there. Not a lot of transitions to be had on this course, which gives a lot of opportunity to suck up to those doors, to try and gain that proximity. Ride the Wall, looking pretty good on run number 2, but you got to remember run number 1, sitting on a little bit of a deficit here as they're coming across the finish line, and we're going to take a look at that. Good enough. Moving on to the finals. Nice work by them. And we're going to move on to our next battle featuring Goon Squad and Medium Rare.
All right, Goon Squad, who have been the standard in Team Tandem for a while. It's the 2-3 matchup for a spot in the finals, and they're looking awfully good here off the drop.
Yeah, I mean, you know, getting more runs, getting that muscle memory back. Like, it's been a while. They had to wait for 64 drivers to get through on the Highline shootout. And so now some of these guys haven't seen the track. John Weigel out front, Julio Loesch out back. They haven't seen the track in quite a while. So, you know, it takes a little bit of time, a couple repetitions to get that muscle memory back. But, I mean, these guys are shredding out here and looking very nice as a team.
All right, Goon Squad with the solid.
There we go.
Yeah,
there
baby.
we go. Rubbing doors with tires. That's what we like to see. That's what we know about Goon Squad. And look at that. Side by side. A very even stack up there. I like it. I like what I'm seeing.
Close enough to find out if they're throwing onions on their brother's chili pie. As we're ready to come into the corner, and now Medium Rare. Oh, well.
Dash 1.
Yeah, Medium Rare does not have enough cars to qualify.
Unfortunately not. So Tyler Mayer, like I said earlier, man, it hit his kill switch. They couldn't get it repaired. They couldn't get him back out there. It's unfortunate. So they're out here too, but 2 does not make a team in the team tandems here at DRIFTCON.
No, 2 is just a pair. It's not enough to get through, although Alex Lindsay certainly trying to make up for it. make it look like there's enough smoke for a third car. I don't know. But that will disqualify them from being eligible, and forward marches the Goon Squad. We know this.
But that doesn't keep these guys from wanting to put on a show, man.
Why not?
Set Simeon out there and set Alex out there. Let's put on a show. Let's leave these fans with something to remember. And Alex Lindsay doing a good job there. Goon Squad to the front, making it happen. And we'll get a little bit more Team Tandem action here on Seattle 11.
It's the final segment of the night here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Glad to have you guys in here with us. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. He is Super Ben White. I am Caleb Hart. And, well, it's Team Tandem, but we've only got one team going for third place here, and that is Ride the Wall, Ben.
Yeah. You know what? We saw it out there. Team Medium Rare. They only have two combatants out there. So, you know what? Ride the Wall is going to get a bye into third place here, but you know what? It would have been hard to compete with them anyways. They got 4 cars out here on track, absolutely shredding throughout this whole Team Tandem competition. And look at that, put on one last show for the fans here, leaving it all out there on the track, doing a nice job. All
right, so you're going to get a second look at this, and that second look here on Home Track Heroes, we got to thank All Ply Roofing. If not for them, we wouldn't be able to give you this second look. All Ply Roofing is your roof keeping up with all the weather, washing and dishes out. Call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate at allplyroofing.com, your residential and commercial roofing team. That is All Ply Roofing. And that's what I appreciate about them, is that they give us lots of looks at drifts. Here today as Ride the Wall takes third, and now for the championships. It is Good Enough. They're the black and white cars taking on the Goon Squad here on the inside, and Good Enough will get the first run. It's 2 runs as a team taking on each other. May the best men's and women's win.
Hey, man. I mean, this is a sick finals to have up here. We got Team Good Enough right here. They're the highest qualified. They get to set the pace first. And you know what? They've just been running the same set of laps this whole competition, and it looks phenomenal. These guys, all 3 cars, black cars, stacked up, looking super classy out there, crossing the finish line. Look at that. All these cars parallel. Their lines aren't intersecting, but they're right next to each other.
So watch them through this first segment here, Ben, and I think this is the first time I saw them look a little disjointed.
A little disjointed? Oh, slightly. Okay. So the line kind of differentiated between cars 2 and 3 there.
It's the first time they haven't been in complete lockstep the whole way around. Now they get it together, and they make a beautiful final corner right about here-ish, now that they all kind of get in line and coming.
You're looking good there. So, you know, and it's one of those things where it's like comparatively, right? Like we've seen them do so good, and then like one little hiccup, it's just like, ooh, what have they done?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Something's weird here, right? Goon Squad time. And they've got a high mark to beat, but again, you got 2 runs. So this is the first of 2 for the Goon Squad and their talented group of drivers.
Man, but these guys are so cool, the Goon Squad. Like, they're so calm and collected out there. It's like, you could tell in their car behavior that it's like they don't get, like, overly excited for moments like these. Like, they're just out here with the homies, drifting, and it's like they'd be doing the same thing if there wasn't a DRIFTCON, if there wasn't a crowd, if there wasn't any of this, they'd be doing the same thing. But you know what? This is fortunate. It's like we get to see like a super secret drift goon thing.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going on here, and it's awesome to watch. So check these guys out. Let's dissect this run a little bit. Good initiation from these 3, and look at that, already all on the same line, doing a nice job transitioning into each other. This is where it's going to suck up. This is where it's going to get tight. Julio Lowe staying a little bit back, giving himself a little bit of extra time just in case anything goes awry. But man, it ain't going awry. It's going full goon mode right here. Look at these guys stacked up 3 wide. Man, the proximity, the banana is so tight.
No, we gave you guys the free secret code to the Goon Squad Speakeasy, and hopefully you enjoyed it right there. As we are ready, it is round 2 for Good Enough. Can they knock off the Goon Squad? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, but did you see what I saw? Like a little bit of a wiggle out there in the back from Kyle Higa. So I don't know, man. Like we've been talking about, these guys have looked so good that like all of a sudden the littlest hiccup seems like the biggest thing. And kind of again there, you saw the Jardine brothers right next to each other, door to door to door to door. But then Kyle Higa, a couple little reinitiations. I don't know if that's changing track temperatures and conditions that are affecting his car setup, but it's interesting.
I wonder if part of what we're seeing is the cars all look so similar that when one of them doesn't, when one of them looks just a little more off, it's even more exacerbated than it would be if you've got cars of different scheme and style.
Good word, dude. Exacerbated.
Add it to your
Very
nomenclature.
nice there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm right. How do you spell that? Never
with an
mind.
X.
Let's send the goons up there. Goon. I could spell goon. That's for sure. And they're going to throw it in, man. They're trying to get the top spot on the podium. Man, they're trying to sway the judges in their favor right now, and they are just going to do goon stuff out there on track. Look at that.
Oh, dog.
Leaving one lasting impression here in all your eyes and all your minds, making sure you remember the name Goon as they're coming around, crossing the finish line. I need the replay. I need it now.
Give me one more good shoof at some point in time during this, because I think that run earned it.
All right, hold on. I'll load it up.
All right, you're ready? Setting them up into the first corner. It's not going to be here. You're going to want to unload it, I think. Just about. Not prematurely.
No, never premature.
Never.
Nickel for every time.
Now, come off the corner. You're almost there. Into the final.
Look at the goons, man, stacking it up
and let her
right
loose.
here, side by side. Shoo! Check it out. Let's bring it to the podium. Let's talk to Danger Ben White and see who won.
Is that your trophy? All right. Well, we can talk about this stuff at After Dark. I think we need to keep it PG here for the Highline shootout. But, I mean, this is Team Ride the Wall. So we had Brendan back there in the 1 Series. He was the caboose. We had Garrett. We know he was driving the FC. Dario, whatever. And then we had Miguel up there in the Miata, right? So was there any – who wants to, like, take on the words here? Who should I talk to? Okay, your head wall rider,
Yep.
Right here. All right, so we put the Miata up front. Why?
Because he didn't have a handbrake, and we figured that would not be a good idea to have him anywhere else in the train.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. Like, there's a lot of strategery there, right? You could put the most consistent driver up front. You could put the slowest driver up front. Do both. And then put the sketchiest driver up front as well. So, like, that's sick. You got a good look at the wall. How did that feel?
Well, the bash bar was pushed out earlier from that one more time battle with that white FRS, and I caught the Ute tire, and I just looked behind me because my brother's driving his Beamer for the first time, and I thought, please don't be a ruined front end. Please don't be a ruined front end. And then I got a ruined front end, so.
Sometimes it'd be like that. Now we're going to talk to your brother here. And, hey, man, so, like, we recognize you in the S197 Mustang. When did you get style, bro?
I actually had the car for about a year. It's just been so pretty. A little hidden secret to the game is that I found out if you don't ever drive it, it's never broken. And so it's just been sitting pretty ever since. And it's actually the very first time I drove that car was in the competition on practice of Team Tandem. So, like, I've never even driven the car in my neighborhood. I put a driver's seat in it in the pits this morning. Last minute decision last night. Mustang wouldn't make only 6 pounds of boost yesterday, and said it's time. Brought it out.
Yeah, 6 pounds? Like, what is that? What is this, my first supercharged car? Okay, so now, hold on. I got one more question. Miguel, of all the teams, why'd you get hooked up with this group riding walls and stuff?
Dario.
Is Dario your boy or what?
Yeah, that's my best friend.
You best homies?
I like to bully him and rub on his car and put tire marks all over it.
Okay, so light bullying, just like best friends. Just all tire marks? Yeah. Okay, all right. So you got a Miata. That's a small target to aim at, but I mean, you rubbing tire marks all over that door. You guys homies from back in the day and making it look good. So, hey, Ride the Wall, you guys killed it. It was a lot of fun to watch. Give them a round of applause because they did a good thing today. So this is the Goon Squad, okay?
Not Gooners, bro, please.
Not Gooners? Oh, we don't like, can I go Goonies? No, Goonies never die, but Goons keep it hot on the streets and on the track? Okay, just the Goons, all right? I'll put some respect on the name. Okay, I promise you that. Now, the Goon Squad, like, I mean, there's a few, there's some influx, some outflux of some of the drivers. you know, you guys had the all black cars, and then we know Julio does the paint, so he gets to decide what color he goes. John went with the white car. I mean, we keeping the liveries the same though, right? So is that the essence of Goon? Or, I mean, what is the overall like Goon philosophy? Who wants this? Who wants the words? I mean, John Daniel's probably like the most up here. He should be the most comfortable, right? So should I go knock shoulders with him? Okay. So Johnny D, tell me what the essence of Goon Squad is.
It's just a bunch of homies with cars. We're gonna paint them all black again. We're waiting, but they're gonna be all black. Yeah. They copied our whole flow, man.
They copied your swag, right? So it's like that stuff. Now they kind of copied you said they copied your wheels, right? But I feel like you guys went out there with the all black cars, and then you guys differentiated with wheels at one point. Like Junior was out there with the pink wheels, you had the blue wheels, there was white wheels. Is that something that you guys are gonna keep going just to add a little bit of personal flavor in the cars, or is it just gonna kind of be like, I don't know, whatever way the wind's blowing on that day, we're gonna figure it out?
Well, I mean, we kind of just like whatever the roof has, because like I got blue flames, so I did the blue wheels, and then Junior had the pink flames, so he did the pink wheels. So I guess, you know, it's just whatever matches the roof.
Okay, well, whatever matches the roof. So guys are gonna draw straws, whatever color straw you get, that's what kind of roof color you got. Okay, so like you rolled in, you got to the finals, and not to sugarcoat it, like I mean, it was a tough road there. You had some good battles, but then you see these dudes go out there, and you had to have at least kind of glanced at them on track, and you're like, I don't know, these guys are shredding hard out here. I mean, is that something, like, you guys all seem calm out there, but was there a little bit like, we kind of got to do something?
Yeah, definitely. We saw them at the practice day yesterday, and we're like, oh man, we got to lock in a little bit. So yeah, I mean, obviously we're watching them, but like we're stoked for them. They're killing it. So
that's right. That's kind of like the ethos, the whole thing about the team Tandem is like everyone's out there having fun, drifting with their boys, doing good stuff. I mean, is there anyone else who's not up here that you guys want to thank, want to give some props to for keeping you guys on track and keeping the goons together?
Oh yeah, definitely. All like the rest of Goon Squad, all the homies that are in the pits, Tire Streets, Circuit Performance, GK Tech, they definitely are a huge part of why we're able to drive so much.
Cool, man. Anything else to add on top of it, or does he got it covered? Covered? Let's go. Okay, round of applause here for Goon Squad. I'm gonna walk it down here. I'm gonna talk to Good Enough. Here, who wants this? Who wants to field the wordage? Right, because we got Nick and then Sam, right? Am I correct in that? Okay, dudes. And then Kyle Higa, hey man, I want to tell you one thing. I'm so thankful that you painted your car all one color. Because like the driving had gotten to a point where it's like, we can do the aesthetics now. And I mean, who did the paint work? Who helped you out with that? Or was it just all you guys on your own accords?
Yeah, so it was all us. Came home for the weekend from school, and then Saturday, we just spent all day painting Summit single stage, just painting the car, the whole car, all day.
School. College school? Okay. I've been feeling old as all day. I didn't need to feel that old, okay? At least it's college school, man. So, like, look, you guys are all, like, kind of grassroots champions of the Northwest. It feels like you guys all out there, your staples out there. It's fun to watch. The Volvo is definitely something that we always see. You're making your presence felt out there. So how did you guys all group together and say, hey, this needs to be a team? Like, obviously, you two fight over the bunk beds. But then when were you like, hey, Kyle is the missing ingredient that we need sprinkled in here? Who wants this? You're closest. You get this.
Well, I mean, it kind of started with me and Nick. I mean, we drive a bunch together. We're brothers, obviously. We're not scared of crashing into each other because, you know, at the end of the day, we go home together and just shake hands, and it's all good. Drive a bunch with Kyle as well, and he's an aggressive driver. So we were like, let's just stick him in the back. He'll match whatever me and Nick do. And it's just insane.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, like I was just kind of generalizing because there was two black E36 sedans with white wheels. So it was just on whichever run, I was just kind of assuming who was who out there. And so, like, I mean, it all doesn't matter because you guys are all shredding out there, all laying it down. Is there anyone that you want to thank that, you know, isn't up here as, you know, the faces of Good Enough, but keeping you guys on track is good enough and helping out? You want me to go to Nick?
Yeah, we'd like to thank our friends and family for helping us out, keeping the cars together and getting prepared. And Bardal hooks me and Sam up with our fluids and Northwest Custom Wheel for our tires.
Excellent. So big round of applause here for Good Enough. Once again, consulting the notes. I didn't even write it down in my notes. Good thing that Matt wrote it down. So first place today at our Teen Tandem competition is going to be the Goon Squad. Goon Squad in first. And that means Team Good Enough in second. You guys, keep it together. Keep these cars good and come out next time, man, because it's a lot of fun to watch.
I've been calling you super all night. It's danger. My bad. I'm sorry.
Are you?
Forgive
I
me.
thought you were doing it on purpose.
No.
I thought you were trying to rage bait me.
I'm just old and dumb.
Okay.
But here's the good news. We get to see you in drifting again coming up in July.
Yeah. So if you want to check this out live, come out July 27th. That's the next time DriftCon is going to be active. Going to see head-to-head competition and even get a chance to get some ride-alongs with your favorite drivers.
Very cool. Ben, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Next week on the show, Twin 50s for the late models. Next time you can come out, it is the 21st of Saturday. Street stocks for 50 laps, mini stocks, and more. I'm Caleb Hart. You are?
Danger Ben White. Keep the pedal to the metal and shred all tires.
For the Hobbses on production and our awesome Seattle 11 crew, we will see you next week here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.